Good evening, viewers and subscribers. This is BVI Channel 1, and we are live on Matters Arising. This program was scheduled to happen about a couple of days before, but for whatsoever reason, we are bringing it to you today and asking the big question after the political situation in Nigeria today, the call for Igbo to return home. The Akuluna campaign that we've been preaching, is it now done on Igbo to heavily invest their business back home? But there are so many questions to be answered. But before we go down to the question, let us take a look again at one video that had gone viral. We published it earlier when we wanted to do this program before, but let us reflect on what this woman told other fellow traders in Lagos. You need to listen to it and you need to share this video. I'll be right back.
I gonna apply to me. I bank it. I gonna put me. I bank it. One day to work up and you say no, darling. I go to every day fair. But I had unprepared. I join no corner that I would be prepared. I'm a Muslim case in 1996. Man, I'll buy my equator. I'll buy my equator. I no call on. Then message or site in Abuna. Okay, rule. Kaina Bank.
My sister.
I'm on your same property. Upon your property. On your dad, under the here, I must get a property. I am a property on a waiting law where I can I'm not going to know. My own property, one of when I can get when I but don't on that no can keep. Also, be I am not going to pack it to a long business side. On our for trade fair. I wrote trade fair no. That was like a dance. No bag idea as on your fan. All of my tools for the trade fair. Yes. Eh?
20 years now.
I ain't a roll. Near you, near yellow. When I told you, when I not Baliani, Imepe News, Ibaqua. But I will about one more about all.
That is it. You're welcome back. Don't forget, this is a live interactive section on Matters Arising. And I have with me in the studios, joining me for United States of America, Engineer Umezurike. Okay, we are bringing him right on board to join us in this conversation. But don't forget that when we are on the conversation, feel free to join us by dropping your comment on the comment section. Feel free to make your submission known. Okay, feel free to tell us what you think about the issue we are reviewing tonight on Matters Arising, talking about Igbo coming back home. We want to make this discussion very brief and also keep it straight on point because of some kind of internet hassles. We wouldn't want to keep you a long time. But if you want to join us in the conversation, you can call us through our line 08104545533. You can add +234 if you're calling from outside Nigeria to tell us your opinion. Don't get it twisted. This is not an obedient movement thing. This is an Igbo question on their future in Nigeria. Should they concentrate more of their business investment in the southeast? What about their survivors? How would they cope? All of these answers, we'll be having it tonight as we bring on our brother who is joining us from United States of America, Engineer Umezurike, who is already seated with me right here. Engineer, you're welcome to the program tonight. All right. We have seen what is happening in Nigeria, the political situation that just transpired. We've seen a whole lot of things from where our people, for some time, their businesses were locked up, and it's not even a new thing, because I know that some years back their businesses were locked up in Alaba at so many occasions in different markets. Their businesses were locked up, and they were their market was forcefully shut down, and they went on rampage to protest the forceful closure of their markets. A whole lot of the intimidation has been happening. We've seen it time and over, just like we're seeing right here on the screen, where our people are protesting.
Where our Igbo bros are doing their business,
you can see them, they are protesting the closure of their market. This is long before the election happened. And I remembered vividly well that I made a submission, and I showed our people a kind of alternative somewhere in Oba, where you have market that is empty. Why don't they relocate some of their market back home? But the response was very slow, or very, very, very minimal. Okay, and our people continue to ply their trade in Lagos. Following up the election, they weren't allowed to register. The chaos was just too much. Okay, our people who tried to register were attacked, brutalized, just like you're seeing right there on the screen. Okay, our people were seriously brutalized. Our people were seriously, attacked. At some point, they were injured. Just like you're seeing right there on the screen.
Somebody has sustained injury. Look at my brother with the blood. No, I want to video you. My brother, let me video your face. Look at the blood.
I bet you can see all of those reports. And this has been what we've been talking about. You know, there are a whole lot of things that happened throughout this election build-up and the rest of them. And it is a cause for concern. And people are asking, question, are Igbos really accepted in Nigeria? Or is this just a conspiracy by the political class to bring in ethnic division in the obedient movement or whatever? Okay? And also the violent attack during the election proper, where they were asked not to come out to vote. Okay? They were violently attacked. They were seriously warned not to come out to vote. You can see at this place, is only if you are identified as an Igbo man, you will not be allowed to go in and vote. That's just what you're looking at there. And the report, we made it very clear when it happened. Okay?
Yeah, we're not allowed to vote. Once you get to the gate, they ask you if you are from Lagos State. Once you're not from Lagos State, East, Igbo State, Anambra, don't tell to go back, go to your place to vote. That's the situation here, the Kota Primary School. So we are not always voting.
So when all of this are happening, we ask our people the question, is it about time people come back home to invest in their homeland, and how would they survive? So, engineer, you've seen all of those things. You've heard all of those things, even though you are living in America. You've seen them. You've seen the report. What can you make of all of this from your assessment?
So basically, from my assessment,
Go ahead. We have a large audience, so we will appreciate it if you use. Yeah.
Like my mother's tongue. So my assessment, I've been an advocate of the Igbo recognizing the problems, the consequences of having decided to be on our own and remain independent between the 67 and 70 wars. These are the consequences of it. And we know that very well and we know the parties that are playing, there's a power play going on. We should be able to understand what's going on. We shouldn't try to please everybody else within the confines of the current day Nigeria, hoping that one day it will be better for us. It's never going to be what we think it should be, but we can make it better for ourselves. I think it's about time we start heading southeast because we've tried many things within the bounds of Nigeria. We've tried to work together with everybody else. Instead, we get a federal character. We've tried to move our trade across other states. We've continued to remain enterprising and resourceful and bringing solutions to Nigeria, even West Africa as a whole. We're not getting that support that we need. Instead, what we have today is a reflection of what's been there all along. What's happened in Lagos is a reflection of how the elites in those areas think. And we've had a lot of people talk about majority of this problem. There's a need to move southeast and establish the same things that we see in the west of Nigeria, to be precise. Take for example trade fair and what happened at trade fair. That's appalling, but we shouldn't be surprised by it. We should expect it because we know the history. It's just not the first time. But it's like you're in an abusive relationship, a man and a woman in an abusive relationship. Each time the woman get beat up or the man get beat up, they make up excuses for getting beat up. But that's a toxic relationship. We should get out of it. So what I'm encouraging our people to do is we've always been like the people that always start over and we always succeed in whatever we do. We should take the same spirit and return to the east. Although we have a majority of our businesses, some of us have majority of businesses in Lagos, and there are still some in the Nnewi and Aba. We should be able to go down to places like Oka or Oba and triangulate our businesses and use technology to drive it, which is what we are blessed with. We do understand technology very well. In most countries that we live in, we're good engineers, good scientists, and good educators. Whenever it comes to STEM, we do very well in those. We should now work together as one unit to support the exodus from Lagos back to the southeast so we can start have a new beginning in this era. We should understand that if we move to our region, the same people will realize what they have lost. And now, just like in a very terrible toxic relationship, when they lose the party on which they beat up all the time, guess what? They go back to those parties whom they are friends with and start beating up on them while they wallow on the fact that they have lost something really good. So that's the take here. We need to recognize the power and the weakness. The weakness right now is the fact that we built up Lagos and we don't want to leave it. That's terrible, but it's something that must be done.
Okay.
So we have to cut the losses at this time because those regions, whether it's north or any part of West Africa, will still come to southeast to buy the product. If we're thinking that it's going to cost a lot of money to bring the stuff from abroad, meaning those who are manufacturing that relies on other countries for the components they need to complete the finished product. So what you have to do is you take the cost and distribute the cost to those who buy your product. So if it's costing you 2x to bring something that used to cost you X amount of dollars or Naira, now it's costing you 2x. You have to make the price to reflect that 2x. So when they come and the price is the way it is, you explain to them, hey, look, we bring our product from over here, it comes through Lagos and etc. And even though there's still fringes of products coming through Port Harcourt anyway, and we can also extend our relationship to Cameroon and get product from there. There are many things we can do. We can liaise with other people that are within the shores and do business with them, and then use trucks to bring the product to our region. We should be forward-looking and progressive. We shouldn't wallow in the fact that the government of the country have continued to marginalize the effort and resourcefulness of a group of people. And then we say, okay, because of that, we can't do this. You have to recognize there's a huge power play here. Right after the election, the result was announced, and your president-elect, who supposedly called himself governor, okay, so right after that, it didn't take a long time. Buhari was moving a motion, actually a bill, an amendment of the constitution for states to be able to power themselves and create their own logistics. So that makes you think, why is that? They are hoping that the Igbos didn't get pushed to the limit. However, what we can do is to move resources so they can miss that effort that we put in for over 40 years. And then go our region and develop our region. Now that we have the impetus and support from the federal government, we can actually build on this infrastructure process now. And that's what we've been meaning to do for a long time coming. So now we can effectively do all these things. Why do we have to stay in Lagos or Kano or Kaduna? We don't need that no more. We need to return where we came from. With technology, you can do most anything today. So we have to work towards empowering our regions. By empowering our region, we have the light, the source of electricity, we have the source of power. And then that will help us to do a lot more. It will help our youth to be fully engaged in software development, resource system engineering, STEMs, and etc. And that's what's propelling and moving the world forward. Oil is no longer what is. We live in a knowledge and skill-based economy, and we should work hard to utilize that, create an environment where the markets we have in India, all of that are connected through a technological pipeline, and all the traders and companies could sell their products all over the world through technology using the internet. The Chinese have done it. We shouldn't be afraid of that.
Okay,
Okay.
I think what you've said so far is really understandable, taking us down through the history of what is obtainable in Nigeria today, the historical reality of what the people are going through in Nigeria today. But there are some aspects of the questions that you've raised that needed answers. How do our people survive when eventually they return back home massively, considering some of the economic factors that are deprived the southeast, the seaport, some government policies and programs have actually, some people have rightly said, which I have also propagated, that it is a conspiracy to push the southeasterners out of the southeast to go look for a better place outside Igbo land. Just after the war, it was an economic conspiracy. But nevertheless, now Ndi Igbo have eventually survived through that very conspiracy. They've been able to come back, bounce back, and I can tell you that Ndi Igbo holds the microeconomic, hold the chunk of the microeconomic life of Nigeria. The businesses, the retail businesses, Ndi Igbo holds a chunk of that economic sector. And I believe Nigeria may not be able to cope with it. But the question now is, what happens if they come back home massively? Now, we have a team of our analysts that will be joining us from our studios from across Nigeria. We have Ndubisi that is joining us from Oka. We also have Olisa. And if I'm not mistaken, we also have Emeka Ozibo. So let us bring them in immediately for them to give us a highlight of what their opinions are on what we're talking about. I'll first of all begin with Ndubisi. Ndubisi, let's have the opinion on what we're talking about this evening. Please go on.
Yeah, hello, Chinedu.
Yeah, good evening. You're welcome to the program.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Good evening, my brother Umel Drinker from US, and thank you for your contribution this evening. Yeah, Chinedu, I think we can do better. We can do better as a people if we are organized. Our people have the capacity to develop our own land, even without federal government intervention. All what we need to do is to have a leadership structure we can trust, or have institutions we can trust. We can build Dubai, we can build Mexico, we can build Switzerland in our homeland. Only if we can jettison this individualism. Our people are too individualistic. But however, I know that things are happening. People are coming together. Starting with us, yeah, BBI Channel 1 and Good Governance Ministry, Good Governance Cooperative, we've been able to do things together. And I've seen some of our people in Lagos, making efforts to put their businesses down to our own land. That will not be done overnight. It's a deliberate plan that will take 2 to 10 years to happen. But as in ebido tata, maybe not ebido noga. Let me hang on for now while I give opportunity to others to contribute.
All right.
To comment.
Thank you very much. Let's bring in Emeka Zibo. Emeka Zibo, hello, good evening. If you're there, can you listen? Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? You can unmute yourself. Okay.
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Emeka was speaking. See, I want to see. There is one thing I understood, okay? Do you know what makes the countries to start moving? It's just one thing. When most of their citizens start telling the truth, that is what makes the countries to start moving forward. I want to ask this question. Do Igbo man tell another Igbo man? This is where we should start from. We have both in-house to start nurturing ourselves. Igbo man is very firm and strong. We can make it, but we have a first of all start nurturing ourselves. We project it. Maybe in the next 10, 15 or 20 years, we start to do it. Our problem is personal interest. That is just it. So we should nurture ourselves before we start springing up. We will probably make it. But if we do not nurture ourselves, I don't think that I will make it. Let me stop here.
So you believe that we should number ourselves to know how many we are, to count ourselves?
No, we should first of all nurture ourselves.
Nurture. Okay. Now you came out clearer. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, is the office that have entered. You see your fellow brother and Igbo man walk to his table and greet him. He pretend as if he's not hearing you. If what you drop 5,000 to say, that's your fellow brother will take 50,000 naira from you. But the Hausa and Yoruba, do they do that? That is what I've said. That we first of all go in house and nurture ourselves before we start to come out. You understand me? If I tell you the robbery that goes on in the east, it does not happen in the west. It does not happen in the east. And you know Igbo that are doing it. So we first of all nurture ourselves before we start to come out.
Okay.
Apart from that,
I think your point has been very clear. Talking about ndị Igbo na-eme onweva ife na-emeva. That's the ideology there. We have Olisa. Olisa, are you there? Good evening. You're welcome to the program.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, Mr. Chinedu.
Yeah, so what's your submission?
Yeah, I want to debunk the claim that Igbos don't nurture themselves. It has why we've reached this stage of our life as one of the huge economic contributors or huge economic factors um, in Nigeria. It did not come by magic. It came by nurturing ourselves, making sure the wealth from one Igbo man can pass to another Igbo man. But now we're talking about development in the southeast. That is bringing all our wealth that was to develop other areas to the southeast. This is we should not wait for people to harm us or people to tell us that this is not that we don't belong here at this. We should not wait for all that. We know the situation of this country and we really stick to ourselves. That our businesses everywhere in the country is not safe, it's not secure. Even though you use insurance on them, they're not still secure. The only security you can have in building your business and in building your wealth is to invest it in the southeast. There's nobody that will come in the night and tell you that you don't speak their language in the south. It's invest and you're doing yourself a favor by making sure your business is close to your hometown. That anything that happens anywhere in the country, you can have somewhere to fall to. So we're not doing nobody's doing anybody a favor in taking back their business to the south. Instead, you're doing yourself a favor in taking back your business to the south. You
Okay.
know,
Okay, I think you've made a very vital point, and I want to tell our viewers you are sorry about the network. The network is buffering. You can always refresh to continue watching, and this program will be uploaded as it's being recorded on BVI Channel 1 Plus, where you can watch it seamlessly without any buffering or hitches, so you don't miss any part of this conversation. And you can also drop your comment on the comment section where we can also read them, or you call +234-810-4545-533 to make your submission. Now I'm back to our guest who is joining us from the United States. Umezurike, you've had some of the opinions of our team of analysts. Do you have any objection to any of them? And also looking at encouraging Igbo to come back home, the question, how would they survive? For instance, considering the fact that you don't have a port, and most of our Igbo brothers who are traders are importers, of which Nigeria make it happen like that because we are not a productive country. Things we can even produce in Igbo land, we are going to China to produce them and import them here. Okay, now the problem now is that if some people are considering that since we don't have a seaport in the south, especially in the south or southeast, then it will really sniff out life from businesses of our people. That's the biggest fear people have, the biggest concern people have in coming back home to do business. But I believe there is a way to it. If Nnewi people can survive and have the biggest motorcycle spare parts market in their community, and the whole Nigeria and across Africa comes to Nnewi to buy motorcycle spare parts up to today, why not other businesses? Do you think that Igbo people will survive that? That's the question.
Actually, I am confident that Igbo, our people, the Bai, we do very well in hardship. We do excellent well in hardship. Actually, we do need this kind of challenge in order for us to reassert that strength that we have and that energy, God-given energy that we have to change things. We're change makers. So this is necessary for us. We can do it. We have a mail when you mentioned it, it came from your own mouth that may we have done so well over the years. The question is why did they do so well over the years? Because someone studied abroad decided to return home. What he had or what he learned and saw, modified it, the Igbo problem, which now is solving Nigerian West African problem. The same thing the Chinese did with the chip industry. The guy that started chip industry in China or Taiwan was one here in the US. He was working with all the other people. As a matter of fact, he failed here in the US in those countries. He made an effort to put a technology which completely failed. And he had a charted new path for himself. And he went back home. So we do well in hard times. What is happening right now is the perfect timing for us to return. Majority of the traders in Lagos, they have properties they left behind. They don't even live it. They locked it up. When I watched the video, I testified to what the woman was saying, how she narrated the whole situation. And she said that they should start heading back to the southeast. Survival, the question is, how did we survive the war thereafter? And how did Abba continue to thrive? No, we continue to thrive. Is the question we should be asking. Abba ships shoes all over West Africa and across the world. So they do with their clothing and etc. So we have to forget about whatever we have. Nobody's gonna take it, but as long as we hold fast to them, they will be used up as pawns against us. And that will stifle our effort in the regions that we live in because they continue to tax our effort. Wherever we develop a region for them, they tax it out. And now we buy another region to develop, they also tax it out. And that is how you develop a place. But if you move that to the southeast and you start developing, people will start coming back. Those who are abroad will start investing in the east. Once they continue investing in the east, you will see the survival will create nature will provide for itself. The problem is we're not patient enough to see the healing time can do. We're always in a rush. And I blame that to the modern day, the system that is running the modern day, which looks for differences and similarities instead of similarities and differences. We should be thinking what makes Southeast similar to the West, to Lagos, where we were, where we established all these things with the North. We shouldn't be looking at, oh, they're different. No, look for the similarities in Southeast, the same thing that applies to the West, where you feel like you're prospering. Once you look for that, you solve your problem. So I'm confident that we can solve our problem. There are many strategies that's been established, like strategy from Professor Wala, investing in agriculture. That way we can get the food we can eat while we go back. And these things take time. You have to project it. When we go back within 10 years, we're going to build something bigger than Lagos because we don't have the Agbero and all those people who come and harass us. Because at home, we're going to have a different view of the world. And people will be coming in, and we're exporting our culture, increasing our reach. So we shouldn't be scared that returning back home will cost a lot more harm. As a matter of fact, it will cost a lot more productivity, and it will increase. It will put an increment to what we can produce as a people, and there will be exchange of knowledge. The pipeline would have been created all the way to various regions of the globe. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that very wonderful analysis, and I appreciate you. And we will look forward to bringing you on our special programs talking about technology, because you've spoken quite a lot about technology and how Igbo can explore the opportunities thereof to make serious impact in their businesses. We really appreciate you and your contribution towards the development of our Igbo, all the way from United States of America. Umezurike, we appreciate you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I have to drop now, though.
Yeah. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you. And that is it. That is it from Umezurike, and we really appreciate him for joining the program all the way from United States. and we're coming back to our studios here. The NWC, let me begin with you very briefly because we don't want this program to be long. Want to get your opinion with respect to the survival of Igbo bringing down their businesses completely in Igbo land, considering the fact that there is no seaport in the southeast. Do you think, as an economist, do you think that's a viable advice for our people?
Yes, of course. We mustn't have seaport for businesses to succeed in Southeast. I can tell you, Chinedu, that you have about 52 countries of the world that are most prosperous, most developed, that are landlocked. That is, they do not have access to international trade, but are still doing very well. Their GDP is very high. Their people are living well. So seaport is not a major attraction for a country to be developed. However, there are so many other things that must be put in place. But that is why we are campaigning for good governance. Because if good governance is there, our people, you don't need to beg people to come back home.
So exactly.
You don't need to start begging people. Once you create enabling environment, I can assure you that our people will start coming back. Once government does the right thing, create the right public policies, securities, uh, 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 create things that will attract investors. There are things that will attract investors. There are things that will move people to relocate from one place to the other. You can ask yourself, Chigodo, why is it that so many of our people are moving to Abuja? Is Abuja do Abuja have access to sea? No, they don't have access to sea. Why is it that people are moving as far as
Kano,
far places like Kano,
Sokoto,
Sokoto? Why are they moving to those places? It's because government has been able to create enabling environment, and once that is done, more people will move to that place. And once we have more people there will be an increase in purchasing power. Increase in purchasing power means more business activities, means consumption, means savings, increase in savings, increase in investment, increase in employment, and other things will begin to happen. Households will have money to spend. You can imagine in a location like Oka, you hardly can see companies, SMEs, that can pay their workers average of 90,000 naira a month. How many companies in Oka pay their workers 90,000 naira? How long does it take to process for CFO? It's only when you have all these documents that you can access bank loan. So government needs to do a lot to encourage our people to start business. I do not believe in this campaign. We just keep on asking for ndị Igbo natawan, ndị Igbo natawan. Ndị nọ anọ, it creates good condition for them to be comfortable here. How much is house rent in cities in Southeast? For instance, Oka here pays as far as 700 to 800 naira per flat. These are the everyday government can low cost estates, massive low cost housing estates.
okay.
As you are backing on those projects, you are creating jobs for engineers, you are creating jobs for artisans, you are creating jobs to mechanics, even food sellers, households, macroeconomics will be booming. So these are the things government gingers development in any economy. It's not only individuals. If individuals should be allowed to develop, just like what happened in Lagos, trade fair was made possible by Lagos state government, I can assure you. Because Lagos state government created that trade free zone. It was because of trade free zone that those guys were able to get bank facility before they started contributing money, you know. So a lot ought to be done by government. And I think maybe Soludo has started towards that. That is why Soludo started building drug markets in Oboji for manufacturers, pharmaceutical manufacturers in Oboji. You know, maybe one day
There is another one that
visit to that side.
there is another one that was being visited, the one at Oba, pharmaceutical market as well in Oba. Very large one, very big one, just close to the other international market.
So this is how to draw people home. By the time you maybe have 12 months or 16 months time, many people will start asking for shops or to pay for allocation and start moving their businesses home. That is how it's done. But I can assure you that in the Igbo have the capacity to develop their land with the right government policies.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ndubisi. Let's hear from Emeka Ozigbo. Do you think from what we've been saying so far, considering no seaport, someone will say, oh, if that way warrant our people to all the way when they bring out the over-concentration of seaport in Lagos, they will have to clear their goods in Lagos and carry it all the way down to the southeast and the rest of them. To me, in my own opinion, I'll tell you, don't give a damn about it. Bring it, add it to the cost of your goods. Those people in Lagos, those people in Kano, Sokoto, and the rest of them, they will come down to the southeast and purchase it at the price you gave it to them. What do you think, Emeka Ozigbo?
Import is not our problem, okay? What we need, like the last scholar, like the next person that spoke, is the enabling environment we need. That is what we need. So the import is not, to me, it's not our problem. Then one of us said about paper boy. I keep on telling people, paper boy, your guys are not helping the people that are called actors. When you start trading, okay, at a stage you want to create one, not that you are calling that person to help that person. You feel that maybe your business has grown to the stage whereby you need another hand. You understand? You call the boy after staying with him, you settle him. But the first thing that most of us, people boys, is not for their business to grow, not to settle him. But after staying with him, you have to settle him. But not on him, not the person that is calling you.
Your line is breaking up, but from the point you're making, we have addressed this issue before, talking about institutionalizing this boy institution, making it actually workable. To be honest with you, that is the best thing that can happen. Okay, if we institutionalize it, legalize it, make it an organized system, so that there will be a legal binding between the nwa boy and the master. The apprenticeship program, business, that is the biggest business school in the world. Nwa boy system is the biggest business university you can find anywhere around the world. So that should be encouraged. We also advise the Soludo government to even do same, to look at it while we were, promoting the good government. That is why it is important. Whatever we are doing through GGM is extremely very important for the survival of Igbo.
There's one other thing, is security. You understand me? I think that was climbing up Iweka Bridge. I had problem with some guys here. If not that, what happened? We would have brought us there. You know, so because they wanted to break the door glass. If not the way, because the truck was going up, the truck, then we stopped. I mean, if not the way I think they would have brought us here. So one another thing is security. Let Anambra be secure. That you can move anytime without being robbed, without robbing. Anambra should be free from all these should be free from all these charlatans. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. But it's not just Anambra State, but the entire Southeast governance. They should have an economic plan. They should have an economic plan. Let us bring in Ulisa too, because we'll be wrapping up any moment from now, to give us his own submission on what we're talking about before we wrap it up finally. Thank you, Emeka Zibo. Go on, Ulisa. Go ahead. Ulisa, we want. Yeah.
Yeah, what I'll say is concerning the import and how an average Igbo trader provide without proximity to the sea is it's very easy. If ask ourselves questions, Anisha, as it is one of the largest marketplaces in Nigeria, and if you take it further in West Africa. I've asked ourselves this question. Anisha doesn't have any access to any seaport. Though they have access to the Anisha River, which you can't say is enough for them to bring that kind of amount of goods into Anisha. So what I'm saying is seaport is not a problem for an average Igbo man. But what is a problem for an average Igbo man is space. And also the environment. Do we have good access routes? Do we have good spaces, or maybe do we have good good environment and enabling environment for them to do their businesses? You know, so on this issue, it's not about whether they are close to the sea or whether they are close to this thing. The government needs to create more markets, open more doors, open more places, open more, create more, because according to what I'm hearing, there are some markets that are becoming more and more congested. Like if you go to Oka now, the popular Oka market that they sell food stuff and all that, and the end that is becoming more crowded, and they are going down the streets and all that. They need to create another market to limitate most of them, or to create an avenue for traders to buy shops or rent plazas or wherever to do their businesses. So it's about expanding development to other areas so that there will be a space. In philosophy, the vacuum, like a vacuum is always filled with air. So if you create a vacuum, it's always filled. So if the government can create spaces, it's going to fill. It's going to fill. If they develop more spaces, bring more light, put more light into several spaces, definitely it's going to fill. And again, we need to be organized when it comes to development. In Abuja like this, there is a place where the low income people can go and stay. Like they call it Pape. Yeah. They go and stay there. Not that the place is outskirts of the city. It's very close.
Yeah, I know Pape now. Cities. Yeah.
Yes. It's closer, but it's a low income environment where people can be able to rent homes for like 200k per maybe 2 bedroom. You can get maybe self-contained for 150k and all that. Low income places.
You're even talking about Pape. What are people living in Abaji? Are they not working in Abuja? Far beyond the Gwagwalada self.
Yes. So we need to be how I want to put it, we need to be like consistent on our development, and also trying to know that this is what I want to do, this is what I don't want to do. We don't need to just be developing anyhow. We need to be organized and say, okay, this is what we want for this particular area, and this is what we envision in the next 10 years. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That is about it today. We have taken enough of our conversation, but I think Emeka has something to say. We can bring it on your closing remark. Let us quickly take that from you quickly. Emeka, are you there? Yeah,
yes,
let that be your closing remark, because we are wrapping up on today's
Yes,
program.
I was in the market today.
Okay.
Okay. The house that got burnt, you understand me? The market have firefighting service work, but it's not functional. It's the one from Enugu and Asaba that came.
The one from Asaba.
No, that market that got burnt, you understand me? Chinedu, the way the market was built by the white man, okay? There are spots that if fire starts to burn, you open a hole, put in your pipe, water will be springing up. All those places have been sold as shops.
Exactly.
You understand me? All those places have been sold as shops.
Yeah.
I think it was this last year or 2 years ago. There's one stainless steel tank, very big tank, that they caught and sold. It's so much standing on that market. So we are the children, we companies are the problem of our country. Like the way we live in Igbo land, the houses and the urban don't live that way. So we need total reorientation before people now will start getting
I agree with you 100%. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. NDBC, okay, let's have Henry. Then NDBC, you have the closing remarks. Not Henry, Morisa.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'll say is simple. That as we are bringing down our businesses to the south, because I know that definitely what's happening in the country, nobody reads is everybody's thinking about bringing down their businesses to the southeast in one way or the other. If we're bringing down our businesses in the southeast, all that in the southeast will continue to pressure our leaders to be able to create that needed environment, to be able to organize and to be able to make sure businesses that are coming to the southeast prosper. Thank you.
God bless you very much. And NDBC, your closing remark very briefly. Let us wrap it up on today's program. Thank you. Very brief.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Chinedu. I want to repeat that development does not just happen by itself.
Okay.
It is induced by public sector, which is government.
A deliberate
And that is why every sensible or rational mind should pay attention to who goes into government. It has to be reasonable, it has to be visionary, it has to be men of proven character. You know, Chino, that's my closing remark. I want to refer you and others to what Buhari has just done a few weeks ago by signing those bills into law. Just to mention two, on electricity, moving from exclusive list to concurrent list, it means that Soludo government can have maybe a state-owned company or licensed company electricity or generate electricity, transmit and distribute within Oka, Newi, Onitsha. This state government do without resorting to national grid or without talking to federal government. They can do it on their own. That is to say that Soludo can call upon Igbo all over the world to bring in billions, maybe 20 billion naira to build a power plant in Oka, yeah, distribute it, transmit it and distribute. That is exclusively left for state government. Again, we are talking about port and wharf and close access to wharf. Federal government has been giving states from exclusive list of federal government to concurrent list, meaning that they can build their own railway stations. Before, it it was under the exclusive list. But now, it seems like Anambra, Imo,
They have their real lines. So they can easily
Yeah.
interconnect the southeast. Because there
They
was a
can
time
do
both of us, I remember the time both of us attended that program by former Minister of Powers, FBNINGLA. They made mention of those things, actually. They had those lines.
Yes. Now the law has made it possible for a state governor to do it without doing takoja or licensing. It's just like building state road. Do you need any approval from federal government for you to build your state road? Or do you need any approval from federal government for you to build a modern general hospital in your state? Federal government can build their own medical center, yes. State government can build their own. So we have a lot we can do under this faulty constitution. But a lot, like I said, depend on who is going into government. There is nothing much an individual can do.
Right.
It is because government of Southeast is not working. That is why Igbo man is individualistic. Everybody is thinking about my own. And that is why people are building up there, spending millions of naira to build houses in the village that will be occupied by rats and cockroaches. Churches are building cathedral because the system is not organized. Because government has not shown them direction. It is government that organizes any society and not individuals.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining on the program. May God bless you, every one of you who are joined, and we hope to have you back again on the program. That is where we're ending it on today's Matters Rising. You that watch, don't forget that we always bring you this live program to give you a voice. But unfortunately, we had a very serious technical problem, not just from our own end, but the bad network. So we hope to upload the recorded version so that you don't miss a thing from the conversation. And from there, we'll continue the conversation on the comment section. God bless you. Stay connected, stay safe, and remain connected to this voice, BVI Channel 1. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the videos. Bye-bye for now.